This week on The Splash, we honor our fallen heroes. Then we go big for business. And later, a rite of passage for our local students. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the Greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Thank you for being with us on The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. The end of May is a time where our country and our community reflects and honors the people who give us the ability to have such a safe and happy place to live, a day known as Memorial Day. Greater West Bloomfield recently joined the rest of the country in recognizing and honoring the veterans who have given their lives to protect our country at home and abroad. With parades in Kego Harbor and Sylvan Lake and ceremonies in Kego, Sylvan, and West Bloomfield, our community stood in solidarity with veterans and families of veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of our safety. As one of the safest places to live in the U.S., Greater West Bloomfield takes pride in the protectors of our community. And while many of those work out of our community daily, Greater West Bloomfield always takes a moment to recognize those who pay the ultimate price to do that around the world. To find out more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Memorial Day 2019. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber hosted a seminar in order to improve business relations in the community in a big way. Andrea Petrus brings us the story.
One of the most integral parts of any community is its relationships between businesses and residents. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce strives to bridge gaps and bring the community closer together. Among their many programs designed to build stronger partnerships is the BIG series.
BIG, or the Business Innovation Generator, is a platform to bring in expert speakers on a variety of topics that can add information and depth of learning to our businesses and community members.
In the latest installment, the Chamber and the West Bloomfield Public Library hosted Adam Ranville, a national and professional speaker with Michigan roots.
Today's event is called Creating Trust and Comfort, and what I'm doing is I'm teaching people how to establish an emotional connection with everybody they meet on a dynamic subconscious level, and I do that by teaching them how to understand body language, how to utilize tonality, how to develop emotionally connecting dialogue, and then we're going to shift into the personal development where I go over internal dialogue, spiritual alignment, mental clarity, gratitude habits, and I'm going to incorporate a couple personal stories as well to help them connect to the material a little bit better.
One of the great things about all of these series is that there's an opportunity to network. So our community members come here, first they're networking, then they're listening to these great speakers who give them ideas about how to create deeper personal relationships and create dialogue for creating even more effective relationships within the community.
These events like this specifically are extremely critical to people in the community because these are local business owners, these are solopreneurs, these are sales professionals, business professionals that need to continuously work on themselves, build up their knowledge base as a sales professional and also as a mother or a father or a sister or a husband or a wife. So it's crucial that they come in and they always work on themselves personally and professionally. The number one problem with communication across the board today in today's society is that people are no longer listening to learn. They are listening to respond. So the dialogue specifically that we want is people to empower themselves, go home, empower their families, and empower their companies.
Businesses are the heart of any community. They create money for the schools, and it's also a great place to live, work, and play in. So the more that we can engage the community, the better it will be for the prosperity of the community.
Reporting for The Splash, I'm Andrea Petrus.
You can find more information at our website at civiccentertv.com/Big Trust and Comfort. Coming up, we see students of West Bloomfield move forward, and then a new episode of Sidewalk Talk.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. High school seniors in West Bloomfield recently closed a chapter in their life and attended the graduation ceremony at the USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth. Tyler Kieft brings us the details on this very important moment.
After 4 years at West Bloomfield High School, and for some, 13 years in the West Bloomfield School District, our community said farewell to the graduating class of 2019 and sent them off in celebration. Like most classes, the class of 2019 was unique. Their journey saw them embark as the first graduates practicing the 4 C's and painting the portrait of a graduate, becoming exceptional students and remarkable young men and women, overcoming their challenges both academic and beyond, and growing into who they are, preparing them for what they soon will be.
While it was difficult to find our way at first, every year brought upon new experiences and lessons that made the adjustment easier.
And here is where their journey continues, and a new challenge arises. As West Bloomfield sends off its graduates, they are reminded that they will be challenged. Their lives will change, but that they are ready. They are prepared because they challenged themselves to be their best at West Bloomfield High School.
Today, you will hear your name called. Your tassel will get turned, and you will get a piece of paper that said you were smart. Then you will say goodbye, maybe to your town, WBHS, and your friends. You know you can always come back and visit, but there will be strangers in the halls, and it's not the same. It's different, and you're different. But it's not the end. In fact, everything is just beginning.
For the graduates, their commencement serves as their goodbye to their hometown, but also a reminder that no matter how far they go, they will always be welcomed home.
Life is a journey after all, and every once in a while we need to sit down and really think about how important it is to make every day count. Just because we may not be on 4925 Orchard Lake Road anymore doesn't mean this is goodbye. Always keep WB in your mind and in your heart, because it'll be a place that we will never forget. And if it weren't for WB, we wouldn't be where our next adventures take us.
This is the class of 2019. Dreamers, leaders, learners, woven into the fabric of our community's history, and forever on the canvas to be known as the portrait of a graduate. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
And to know more on this story, you can visit civiccentertv.com/WBHS Graduation 2019. And now it's time for Sidewalk Talk, where reporter Patrick McElmurray asks the people of Greater West Bloomfield a very interesting question.
The one U.S. state that I haven't been to yet is Hawaii, only because of the long flight and it's pricey. What U.S. state have you not visited and want to visit the most?
I would say Arizona, and I really want to take the kids. The scenery is beautiful, do some hiking in the mountains, and the weather's always pretty.
I heard it's gorgeous. I've never been, but I heard it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous from what I see. Yeah.
Well, being from Poland, but I have traveled a lot here. I have not been in Alaska. That's the place I want to visit. It's not maybe during winter time, but summertime.
It gets really cold. I was in there in wintertime, and it was negative 45 degrees.
Well, I am from Poland, but even that will be too much for me.
Colorado. It just seems pretty. I don't know. All my friends always go there. I
heard it's nice.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Probably Texas, because I'm curious about the desert and all the, the wide open sandy areas and what different little towns are out there.
There's a lot to see. I heard in San Antonio is pretty nice too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I wouldn't mind seeing all those older, the Wild West towns and stuff.
You get some boots with some spurs.
Yeah, and a horse too.
What U.S. state have you never visited that you'd love to see?
None. Been to all of them.
Been to all of them. Once or just once or multiple times?
Some multiple, but usually just once.
What was your favorite?
California. I lived there, went to college there, grew up there. Great state.
With my kids, I have not been to Arizona, so I would like to go to Arizona.
It's pretty beautiful out there.
Yes, I'd like to go to the Grand Canyon. That would be great.
I've never been to California, which I would really like to go to LA and see that Walk of Fame. I would really like that. That would be cool.
It's pretty nice out there. I spent a week out there, but I worked all the time. So.
Oh, really? Oh,
My dad tells me not to go there, but I want to go there.
It's nice to visit. You know.
Yeah, it would be nice to visit. I'd like to live there.
Yeah. Just don't talk to the locals. They're kind of weird.
Oh, really? Oh, weirder than in Michigan?
Yes.
I gotta go.
For Civic Center TV in West Bloomfield, I'm Patrick McElmurray, and this was Sidewalk Talk.
For more episodes of Sidewalk Talk on demand, visit civiccentertv.com/Sidewalk Talk. Now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update. We provide you with upcoming events around Greater West Bloomfield. And for more events coming up, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Women of Will, Wisdom, and Witness, the feminine presence of Scripture is happening at Pine Hill Church Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. The class will bring the women in the Bible to the forefront of the story. Cost is free, and for more information, contact drcapacker@gmail.com. Come get a taste of summer with the Summer Recipe Redo at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, June 6th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Learn how to enhance your favorite summer recipes with nutritious and delicious flavors led by culinary experts. Located in the demonstration kitchen at the hospital, price is $20 per person or $30 for two. For more information, visit henryford.com. What's Cooking presents Sweet Dreams, happening at the West Bloomfield Public Library from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on June 6th. Sweet Dreams is a bakery and was voted Best Pastry Shop by the Detroit Free Press 3 years in a row. There's no charge or reservation required. For more information, go to wblib.org. Come celebrate Apple Island June 7th at 10 a.m. located at the Orchard Lake Community Church. Apple Island has been added to the National Register of Historic Places, and the West Bloomfield Historical Society and School District wants you to come celebrate with them. To RSVP, email rsvp@gwbhs.org, and for more information, visit gwbhs.org. And after the celebration, come tour the island, happening Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The tour is self-paced and guided. Registration is first come, first serve, and costs $20 for adults and $10 for children 5 through 12 years old. Meet at the Orchard Lake Museum before, and for more information, visit gwbhs.org. Come discuss the film Brazil, the box office failure turned cult classic, will be the subject of the West Bloomfield Public Library's film discussion series. This event is happening June 10th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the library. The film is not shown, but cost is free, and to find out more, visit wblib.org. Dispose of prescription drugs with Operation Medicine Cabinet, happening year-round in West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, and Orchard Lake, and takes place at the police departments of the 3 communities. Disposing of drugs is completely anonymous. Open 24/7 in West Bloomfield, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Kego Harbor, and Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Orchard Lake. For more information, visit oakgov.com or call your local police. And that's this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the Greater West Bloomfield area. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be speaking with Craig Bryson, the Senior Manager of Communication for the Oakland County Road Commission.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back. We're joined by Craig Bryson, the Senior Manager of Communication for the Oakland County Road Commission. And thank you, as always, for being with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So it has been a busy season for you already, but the rain has played a major part in this construction season being delayed.
It certainly has. There have been 22 of the last 30 days it's rained, and we can't pave in rain. We can't do a lot of the other construction activities, so many of our projects have been delayed, pushed back. Our preservation resurfacing program is about 30 days behind schedule because of all this, the rain and the ramifications of the rain.
So do you think you're going to be able to make that make that time up? Or I know it just depends on the weather, but are you optimistic about this?
I am optimistic. I think we build in some flex time in our schedule, so we're optimistic that by the end of the season we'll be able to have caught up on all that.
Okay, so there are some big projects going on, and there are some big roundabout projects going on.
Yes, there are.
So tell me about those.
Okay, so we're building 6 roundabouts this year, which is a record for us. We've never built 6 in one year. One of those is in West Bloomfield. 3 of them are in Orion Township, and one is on Cooley Lake Road, and one's in Oakland Township at Adams and Gunn.
So the one in West Bloomfield, that is a 2-phase project, correct?
Correct. So it's a roundabout at the intersection of Maple and Middle Belt, but it's also replacing a culvert that carries the Rouge River under Maple Road just to the east of the Middle Belt intersection, which in and of itself is a major project. That culvert's about 20 feet below the road, and we're going to replace the culvert and raise the road up about 6 feet to improve sight distance on Maple Road.
So that's part of the phase. Has that already begun?
That has not yet begun. The utility relocation is taking place. So there are a lot of utilities near and around the intersection and along Maple Road that have to be moved out of the way. So AT&T, the water services, all the cable, everything like that has to be moved out of the way, and that is currently happening.
So what can motorists expect during this time?
Until then, there'll be continued lane closures with flaggers directing traffic on Maple Road east of Middle Belt. That's going on currently while the utilities are being moved. The road's open, but it's down to 1 lane on many days. When the culvert actually starts, the road will be completely closed at the culvert, so east of Maple Road. That will last until about September. In September, the roundabout will begin, and the entire Middle Belt Maple intersection itself will close. And that'll be the case through November when the roundabout is finished.
Okay, so you mentioned flaggers. I want to go back to safety for a minute, just because we hear a lot about crashes happening involving the workers, the construction workers.
Yes.
And we can't say it often enough to
Absolutely.
use caution.
Please, we every year we see workers hit, sometimes worse. On a regular basis, we see people flying around the flaggers, flying around barricades. It's a very dangerous job. Those people are out in traffic. Please keep your eye out for them. Slow down, stop when they tell you to stop. Don't go around the barricades, and watch out for those construction workers. We want to make sure they all get home to their families at the end of the day.
Okay, so let's talk about safety for the roundabouts, right? Because you said that there are actually 2 different safety aspects to driving through a roundabout. And one seems pretty simple because there's signs.
Right. So what we want people to do is choose the lane they want to go through on the roundabout before they enter the roundabout. So there are signs that tell you which lanes turn left, which lanes go straight, which lanes turn right. So look at those signs, pick your lane, and then stay in your lane in the roundabout. One of the biggest problems we have is that people change lanes within the roundabout. They realize too late that they're in the wrong lane, and then they switch lanes without looking. They sideswipe somebody else, or they cut in front of somebody else and get rear-ended. So those are the minor vehicle damage types of crashes we sometimes see in roundabouts.
But as far as roundabouts go, and it seems kind of ironic because most people think they're more dangerous.
Right.
But that's not the case.
No, they're actually far safer. Statistics not only from our roundabouts, from statewide and from nationwide are overwhelming. We see about a 75% reduction in serious injury crashes and about a 90% reduction in fatalities, which is huge. If you think about urban areas like Oakland County, the traffic fatalities occur at intersections, and they occur in 2 ways. Either somebody gets broadsided when they're making a left turn, or they get head-on collision, somebody coming through the intersection. A roundabout pretty much physically removes the ability of either of those types of crashes to take place. So we see just a huge reduction in injuries and deaths. And there's very little else that we can do that would have a 90% reduction on fatalities. So that's, from a safety point of view, they're actually huge.
And they keep traffic flowing.
They do. They improve traffic capacity of the intersection by about 30 to 50%. And that makes sense if you think about it. With a signalized intersection, at all times, you've got 2 directions of traffic completely stopped. In a roundabout, you've got all directions of traffic flowing freely all the time. You may have to wait a few seconds to get into the roundabout, but all directions are moving continuously in a roundabout, so you can actually move a lot more traffic through the intersection.
Which brings up speed.
Yes. We design the roundabouts so they force you to slow down when you're going in there. The geometrics of the roundabout are a relatively tight circle. Most people see that, they adjust, it's an intuitive thing. So 15 to 20 miles an hour is about ideal for going through those roundabouts. Unfortunately, some people are not paying attention. They come flying down the road and barrel right into the intersection. And again, that's where we see some of the side swipe and rear end collisions. They're going too fast. They can't make the turn, or the cars in the roundabout already are going much slower than they are, and they rear end them. So please slow down when you go into the roundabouts. They're designed to be 15 to 20 miles per hour in the circle.
And just pay attention.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, that would probably be the biggest thing. Just
absolutely.
Pay attention and know where you're going and stick to your lane.
And be conscious of the cars around you. You know, you have to. The cars in the roundabout have the right-of-way, so you have to yield when you come in to the cars that are already in the roundabout, and then be conscious of those who are in the other lanes in the roundabout while you're there, and you'll be fine.
So if you're stopped waiting to enter the roundabout, the cars that are already in, they have the right-of-way.
Exactly.
Okay.
The cars circulating in the circle have the right-of-way.
Because I think some people don't understand that.
True. Some people think that when they pull in, the cars are in the roundabout are going to stop so they can come in, but that is not the case. It's the cars entering the roundabout that have to yield to the cars in the roundabout.
Right. Okay, so going back to Maple and Middle Belt, what can people expect as this project goes on?
Well, during the culvert, the road will be closed. So the detour route for Maple Road traffic is Inkster Road down to 14 Mile, back up to Middle Belt, and while the culvert's going on, the intersection will still be open, and then vice versa if you're going the opposite direction. Once that's done in September and the roundabout begins, the detour route, when the entire intersection is closed, will be Inkster Road to 14 Mile to Northwestern Highway to Orchard Lake Road, and then back up to Walnut Lake if you're going back to Middle Belt Road, and in the opposite direction.
So when are you expecting the roundabout to be finished and ready, open for business?
Right, in November.
In November.
That is the plan.
So right in time for winter.
Exactly. Yep. That's right.
So really, people just need to know what's going on, pay attention. Of course, we'll have updates right here on Civic Center TV, and I'm sure we'll be expecting you back again.
Sounds good.
To tell us how it's going.
Sounds good.
But to really just have patience.
Yes, and anybody who's driven that intersection on a regular basis knows it's been a terrible, the pavement's been in terrible condition for years. We're very happy to be able to get in there. It's going to be, number one, much smoother, and number two, much better functioning intersection. So if we can just be patient and get through the construction, I think the rewards at the end of the process will be well worth the wait.
And thank you so much for being with us. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have been joined by Craig Bryson, the Senior Manager of Communication for the Oakland County Road Commission. On this week's episode of The Biz, we visit Optimize and learn all about eye health.
In this glorious age of computers, tablets, and smartphones, a drawback to these technologies is the stress and strain they place on our eyes. Here in West Bloomfield, Henry Ford Optimize is doing its part to combat these and all eye issues. And the key to keeping good optical health starts with a yearly eye exam.
The eye exams are more than just checking for your glasses prescription or contact lens prescription. It's more about checking the eye health as well. So that's why it's important to come in even if you've never had a problem with your eyes. You passed every vision test at school. You passed your driver's test. You may have issues in the back of the eye that you may not have symptoms of, so you wouldn't necessarily know to come in. Where we're checking these things early on to make sure that doesn't become a problem for you.
Which brings us to our cell phones and what precautions can we take to prevent any damage from our new national pastime?
The light that comes from these devices, the LED light, actually can have a form of blue light, which can possibly, there are studies still out there on this, possibly cause damage to the back of the eye to put the eyes more at risk for macular degeneration later in life. So the closer you are and the brighter the screen, there's much more risk. So I tell our patients, keep the devices farther away from you. Not so bright of a screen. If you put it on the night shift, that's actually easier on your eyes. And to limit the hours that you're looking at the screens, especially children. I tell them all the time, really, unless you need to use these devices for school activities or anything like that, no more than a couple hours a day on the screen is best.
And Dr. Mattia explains an easy trick which may help prevent digital eye strain.
Follow the 20-20-20 rule. In the workplace, you should set up your workstation for good computer vision ergonomics. Your monitor should be about 20 inches away from you, and the center of your screen should be about 5 inches below your eye level. And all of these things can help cut down on problems like eye strain, blurred vision, and dry eyes.
Along with hundreds of frames for prescription glasses, Optimize also features a huge inventory of what is often an overlooked aspect of eye health, sunglasses.
Anytime you're out in the daylight, you should wear sunglasses with 100% UV 400 protection. This can help reduce your chances of getting cataracts or macular degeneration. Even though it isn't sunny every day in Michigan, UV protection is needed even when it's cloudy outside. And polarized lenses are especially great for snow and water sports to cut reflections.
For Civic Center TV, I'm Lawrence Nyland.
For more episodes of The Biz, visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz. And now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week, where we celebrate the people in the community who are inspiring and providing toward others. And this week's recipient is Andrew Schaeffler, West Bloomfield High School graduate and West Bloomfield Township Board student trustee. A recent graduate at West Bloomfield High School, Andrew Schaeffler, took on the unique opportunity to serve our community as a student trustee on the West Bloomfield Township Board. Between homework and his other school activities, Andrew made the effort to be involved in the township's evolution, working with board members to provide a new perspective on actions, laws, and ordinances. Andrew has also been a member of the Rotary Club's Interact Club, where he worked with fellow students to fundraise and to raise awareness for good causes in Greater West Bloomfield and far beyond. Andrew Schaeffler has made a commitment to community and service in Greater West Bloomfield and put that commitment to action, which is why he is our Person of the Week. And if you know someone who's making a positive difference, let us know. Send an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community, and we appreciate your suggestions. That's all for this week's show. You can watch new episodes Mondays at 5:30 p.m. at Civic Center TV, on Comcast 15, AT&T 99, and online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Civic Center TV. And for more Metro Detroit news, you can listen to me and Greg Bowman weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. on WWJ Newsradio 950. And for all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for watching The Splash.